interpreter took him by the hand and led him into a very large parlour. It was full of dust because it had never been swept. And after they had reviewed for a little while the room, the interpreter called a man to sweep. Now when he began to sweep, the dust began so abundantly to fly about that Christian almost choked with it. Then said the interpreter to a young woman standing by, "Bring the water and sprinkle the room," which when she had done was swept, and the whole room was cleansed easily and with pleasure. Christian said, "What does this mean?" "Well, the parlour," said interpreter, "is the heart of a man that was never made clean, never sanctified by the sweet grace of the gospel. The dust is his original sin and inward corruptions, and they have defiled all of him right through. When he began to sweep at first, that is the law. And then she brought water and sprinkled it on the gospel. Sweeping caused the dust to fly, and the room could not be cleansed, and it almost choked everything in it. And this is to show you that the law, instead of cleansing the heart by its working from sin, just revives and strengthens it and increases it in the soul. Even as it does discover and forbid things, it does not have power to subdue them. But the water which was sprinkled upon, that allowed the room to be cleansed with pleasure, is to show you that the gospel comes in sweet and precious, and its influences upon the heart are to cleanse. Out on a morning pilgrimage. Now, in Bunyan's story, Christian is taken to a room by interpreter, and at the heart of the room is dust, and that represents all the sin, all the rebellion, all the filth, moral filth, really, I suppose, that sits at the heart of people's lives. And he invites law to go and stir it up, and that's what we find, isn't it? That when we read the Bible and when we read the law of God, it stirs up our sin. We see things as they really are, and we see ourselves as we really are. And sometimes, as Paul makes it clear, that the law often describes sin that we'd never thought of, and then we get pulled into that and we sin in that way. And then a young lady is told to pour water on it, and of course the dust is dampened and is controllable then. See, the law can't control sin, but the water can. And the water, we're told, represents the grace of God, the mercy of God and the tenderness of God. And that is what helps us to defeat sin, not law. It's not enough to shout at people and tell them what they're doing wrong. It's not enough to sit there beating ourselves up about what we've done wrong. That won't help us. That stirs up. But we look to God and His mercy and His offer of forgiveness, the undeserved grace of God, the undeserved good pleasure of God, we could say. Oh, how the grace of God, a hymn writer says, it found out me, it loosened all my bonds and set me free. And this is the grace of God, the unmerited favour of God. So He says to us, come and be healed. I will pay the price and I will help you. So in your life, are you just stirring up the sin, or are you looking for the answer, which is found only in God and in the grace of God? Ultimately, the payment is paid on the cross, the ultimate sign of God's grace. Well, today, may God bless you as you put your trust in Him and in His Son, Jesus Christ. From me, hey weary pilgrim, my little friend, have a good day.